a happy holiday. Hello everybody, welcome to this amazing game of Hades. Today we're going to be playing another new game, but it's been a while since I've been around, so jumping back into what I hope to be the daily or every other day. I've been working on a relatively large project which has kept me away, so we'll see how it goes. Anyways, Hades I haven't done on YouTube yet. I've been streaming this for actually a while on Twitch. It's been a lot of fun. This is a roguelike hack and slash is what I would call it. Essentially, you are fighting your way out of Tartarus and you go up out of hell and try to get out. 4 levels, each with a boss at the end, and you use various upgrades throughout to make yourself stronger to the end. There are upgrades back at the base, which I have unlocked a lot, so in terms of if you didn't want any kind of story spoiler whatsoever, stop watching right now, because I unfortunately am pretty far, so there will be spoilers along the way. On top of that, I've unlocked quite a bit, and we are going to just be doing another run today. So today, I have practically everything I normally use maxed out. This is my loadout. We just need another Fated Persuasion at 2000 Darkness. So if you know nothing about this game, I will fill you in on the way, so you shouldn't be too lost, and just enjoy. Today we're going to be running, I guess, is sword the way to go? Yeah, we're going to run the Nemesis Sword. So to start off, you have 6 weapons as you go along, and each weapon has 4 different versions, each with their own benefits, and I'm currently just doing a whole bunch of unlocks. I don't have everything, but we are definitely working on it. I'm also leveling certain things, trying to get all the achievements. So we are going to go ahead and jump into a run. As you beat the game the first time, you will unlock this Pact of Punishment, which is essentially making the game harder. You pick what gets harder, and that increases the heat level. Every time you beat the game, your heat can go up by 1 in terms of your rewards. So when you beat a game, in every floor, you get a reward here, be it one for every area, starting at Tartarus, Asphodel, Elysium, and Styx. And then you add some heat, so for example, we'll do Heightened Security, which causes all traps and lava to deal 4 times more damage to you. That's 1 heat. I can go up to 4. I've already beaten 1 heat, so that gives us those rewards, and you can only collect rewards on that heat level 1 time. So now I've used a total of 4 heat, which I have not beaten yet on sword, so that'll give me rewards. Going over does not give me more rewards. It caps out at your highest heat. So you make it as difficult as you want. You could slap all of the heat on. They have multiple ranks, from making enemies harder, deal more damage, give them a shield. I've picked extreme measures, which causes bosses to have unique techniques or new things, and I'll explain the differences as we go along. So we will be going with Heightened Security, so traps will practically one-shot me, and extreme measures makes, for each rank, it makes a boss have new techniques. So Tartarus and Asphodel will have new techniques because it's rank 2. If you can go all the way up to 4, where each boss has something on their own. So we're just gonna jump right in. I apologize for taking too much of your time to get started on this run. There's quite a bit to explain. I don't want anyone to be lost. This game takes place in Greek mythology. If you know anything about your Greek mythology, everything will make sense. So I play as Zagreus, who is attempting to get out of hell, and I get gifts from the gods, which are boons.
Keep fighting, cousin. Fight from out of that eternal gloom. I trust you'll be joining us upon Olympus shortly.
Each boon or god has a unique style of benefits they give. You also have 4 types of boons that, or well, technically 5, but you have 4 types of actions that you normally take, and then a summon or an aid, a call, where it's kind of your ultimate. So you have your attack, you have a special, a cast, and a dash. So typically you can have a god bless one of those that gives you a boon and changes the properties of your thing. Athena will offer one of many benefits, so to look at what she's giving me, it'd be like my special gets more damage and gets the deflect effect. Failing shot changes my cast to get a deflect effect. All this kind of stuff. I'm going to be taking Divine Dash, which puts deflect on my dash. So now when I dash, I get these shields, which reflect the projectiles enemies can throw and deal damage. Also does melee attacks. So this is my cast. It's just this little dot, goes into their body, holds into there for the while, and come out. Mine regenerates over time, so I can shoot multiple. And there's my sword attack. That's just basic attacks. Then you have your special attack. Every weapon has a different set. And then you have your cast. So 3 different attacks. Your dash technically is an attack. It deals damage. And so we're going to go to our next room, which is the key. Whew, I'm sorry, we're explaining a lot. But now that you get it, so we go into the room. There's going to be a spawn of enemies, and we fight them and take the key. Each sword aspect, which was one of the 4 things I had shown earlier, has a different function. The Nemesis Sword we chose, that after we use a special attack and my eye head thing is glowing, all my basics have a chance to crit, I believe. I mean, it says right here. So for 3 seconds after a special, my attack has a 15% chance to crit. So now I have a choice of 2 rooms. I can go get the heart or I can go get the hammer. I'm going to take the hammer. Heart is maximum life. Hammer is a weapon upgrade. So we just run in here, cause havoc, shoot the cast, do some damage. The cast is pretty much a ranged spell-like ability. By default, it's not that good, but if you upgrade it, it can do better. So the hammer is like a god boon, gives me one of 3 choices to increase my attack. And I'm gonna go ahead and go with Supernova. This makes my special larger, which is a personal favorite. We got a Chaos Room. Fantastic. Very much like Binding of Isaac, this is like your demon, your devil deal. That's what it's called. You come and you take a devil deal.
Possibilities before us, son of Hades. I have arbitrarily selected only 3 again, from which to let you choose.
One huge thing is that every time you take a boon, the story progresses in some way. There's a whole lot of story in this game, and the gods will talk to you, interact with each other. It's really cool. But Chaos is a unique one. He does have his own story thing and how it all comes together. So picking a Chaos boon, I have to take a penalty for a certain amount of turns. Then I'm given a boon from Chaos. So my Dash Strike will deal 47% more damage at the cost of taking almost 3 times damage from traps. To be honest, either I can get my health up, my cast. I'll probably take Dash Strike, maybe. I'd rather special damage at this point. I have a Persuasion dice, which lets me re-roll and hope for... There we go. So I like the fact I would get more special damage. Because it's bigger, I'm probably going to be using it more. I lose 32 maximum life, and I will have 31% additional special damage after the fact.
Let's see how this goes.
So, being that we are focusing on my special, there's a whole bunch of stuff. So you can dash over gaps and such. And other things to keep in mind is these little pressure plates or traps. The traps can also affect enemies. You can knock enemies into walls. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We got a palm fruit, or palm of power. It essentially levels up your boons that you've collected. I only have the dash, so it makes my dash deal slightly more damage. Not that good because the dash I have is not meant to deal much damage. Kinda sucks, but I mean, it's the only boon I have. So we took money. We got a free fountain room, which means if I was injured, you walk up to the fountain, which I am. Take that, heals you, move on. All right, so now we get to choose between Dionysus or Artemis. And Dionysus is a... focuses on a debuff called Hangover, which is like poison, deals damage over time. And Artemis is crits and pretty much straight up damage. I will probably always take Artemis over a lot of gods. But certain gods are better with certain weapons, and I would say a lot of what Artemis offers is great for what I'm doing, especially since I'm already focusing in sword. So as you see, this guy shoots projectiles, my dash reflects and damages him with his own projectiles. It's pretty nice.
Living on Olympus here, I'm surrounded by my family, but I always felt alone. I know that's not the same as your experience, but I'm just saying I relate to what you're going through.
Essentially, the gods don't know where Zagreus is. They're just sending messages down to him, hopefully finding him and such. So we got Artemis aid, and that is actually oh god, this whole setup's great. So either I can get Artemis effects on my special attack, which is additional critical chance and more damage, or I can get her summon where she shoots out a whole bunch of arrows, or I could just give a critical chance to everything, which, to be honest, I might go for this because it's on a rare. So they can come in rarities, which means their base stat is higher, and then when you upgrade them with the power palm, it does more. So you definitely would like to come across rarer things. It's got about 4 different rarities: common, rare, epic, heroic, and then there's legendary ones, which are their own thing, and then duo boons. It's a pretty complicated system, and I'm kind of confused what I want to go with. I would love this so that my flourish can critically strike. Ooh, cause oof. I'll take the 8, I guess. It's Poseidon. Poseidon. I would like a cast of Poseidon. I'm not honestly sure. The way this build's going right now. So yellow health enemies, they're shielded, so they do not flinch. They can be pushed around, but they just won't flinch. They'll still attack through everything. You gotta break their armor first, and then when you're through armor, you can make them flinch with every attack, and then go ham and have fun.
That's what you get.
So my boon for my boon just came out, so now I got 31% damage on special.
I sense that you've been marked by the elusive Artemis, correct, nephew? She shies away from most of us, so if she's taken somewhat of a liking to you, great.
And there we go.
We can switch to a different boon.
I do not want to swap title dash. So when you get a boon of the same thing, that like a dash on a dash, they will replace them and upgrade the rarity by 1. But I did want the flood shot on my cast, so we'll take that. That's now upgraded my little spell to have a giant explosion, which slams enemies to the side. One of the big things that Poseidon's about is knockback. And he also has the rupture effect. So the rupture effect deals damage when enemies move, which is insanely good, because enemies move often. And also knocking enemies into each other or into walls, you can get bonus damage, and then there's also a lot of damage with, gods you get, or bosses. So darkness is a currency, and same with treasure, but I'm upgraded enough where they give a second benefit where treasure will also give me coins, and darkness will give me 5 maximum life. I'm probably gonna go with the maximum life. The darkness and treasure are for upgrades after your run, so when you die, you take the darkness with you, but things like coins are something for the current run. You can buy boons and upgrade yourself. So you'll see that I'm using special coin often. There's also fishing in the game.
And the river Styx.
Catch a fish and you turn it in for more rewards at the end. And essentially, every run you take, you want to get the currencies to upgrade yourself, and then try to get further and further. Dionysus. If I were to get Dionysus on one of my things, I kind of want him on attack. I do not want him on my special. And the reason is because Dionysus is a poison effect, and he does better when you can apply the poison effect frequently.
No, Dionysus.
I say Dionysus.
Hey again as ever, Zag. Now you keep at it like you have been, and I bet we'll all be hanging out up here in no time flat. I'm with you all the way.
Oh, and it's epic. Oh, but that one's good too. I don't know. Strong Fountain's one of those things that you definitely want early on because it's 5% per fountain. You get a fountain guaranteed at the end of every boss fight, and then you can run into fountains throughout the way. God, if I take this now, I can get the 5% and just hope for better attacks elsewhere. But Drunken Strike was also, if I had to have a Dionysus effect, on my attack is far better because my attack's a little faster than my special. I could stack the poison effect, or hangover, it's called hangover. I could stack the hangover effect much more effective than I could with my special. Oh boy. It's gonna be a fun run. It's gonna be an interesting fun
Power
run.
of the gods.
So now that I have more things I could do, I'm probably gonna take the Artemis aid. You won't see me use it often, but when I do, watch out. That's the shop. I'll probably take the maximum life because I have some money. I have enough for a boon, but I'd rather enough for 2 boons. I'm gonna take the shop. Some money in that vase, money in that vase. The special colored vases are money. So we're at our first boss. This is Titan's Blood. It's part of the... You get that once per heat from the first and last boss.
Hello, Fury Sisters.
So, extreme measures.
For a fair fight with you. Maybe that's why you signed the pact. To pity me.
Extreme measures in this fight. Normally you fight one of the Furies. Now you fight them in combination, so you'll fight one, but the others will come in and assist with extra attacks.
Pitying you isn't one of them. Although I guess you don't believe me, do you?
If it's punishment you want, how am I to say no?
So, it's just a good old boss fight. Nothing too special on this one. This is honestly the easiest boss, and I don't think I've ever died to her. I've taken a Death Defy, which I'll explain in a minute. So my call is ready, but if I max it out, I can do a better call, which I would rather save for. I'm just running into that. So I do have 2 dashes before I have to relax. That's getting kind of hard to see. That's alright. No matter how much damage I take, I'll recover the whole thing. I'm playing this very sloppily. There we go. Easy.
Yes.
That was very sloppy. But we got the Titan's Blood. So Titan's Blood upgrades your weapons. So every time you beat the first and last boss on heat, you'll get your thing. As you come along, so you guaranteed fountain. I got 5% damage. You can sacrifice boons for money in the red pool. You can buy small little trinkets to help you out if you want it. And you can also swap your keepsake to one of the many. I also have a summonable thing I've never used before. Haven't needed it. And Death Defy. So above my health bar, you'll see there's little Zagreus circle pictures icons. Those are Death Defies. If you die, you defy death, you lose a token, you come back to life with a certain percentage of life. There are several different...
At least.
Ooh, Chaos. Spend 24 life, go to Chaos. So you get a percentage of life. There's different types of Death Defies, from trinkets. You can replenish them, but essentially your base ones refill you to a percentage
In the name of Hades.
determined by a certain thing. So I can get 40 extra health. My cast can deal 30%. I'm actually not against the cast because I got a higher damage cast with Poseidon's flood, so ulting shot's not a bad one. We got an event? Okay. I'll take it. That's a pretty good event. Yes. Yes. So this icon, there's one every floor, is a unique character that you can interact with. This one is Eurycity, and I'm actually going to give her a gift. You'll see it's been saying gift This is how you progress the story and create relationships with every character. You give them nectar.
You read
It's a
my
gift.
mind, hon. I go through this stuff awful fast sometimes.
And I, in turn, shall go through your incredible cooking awful fast, given the opportunity.
So this is your book, and then there's your relationships, how many nectar you give, and you build relationships. They give you rewards, and it also progresses the story.
Been trying to perfect these recipes for I don't know how long.
So these characters from the events will each give you one of 3 options, which give you a set of bonuses. I usually go for Palm Porridge, which gives 4 random boons plus 1 level. You could do 1 or 2 boons, get a higher rarity, or 3 boons you find are... The next 3 boons have a higher rarity. I think... It would, yeah, I have 4 that can level, right? No, I don't. 1, 2, 3. I don't believe I can level that one up, and I can't level those up. So, actually, it might be best just to go with the boon upgrade. I don't have enough for 4. I could take the 4 and only upgrade 3, but... There we go.
Thank you.
Just got a heroic level fountain upgrade. That's not bad.
Time.
See you next time.
So not all boons can be leveled up, so you just... That'll come with knowledge of playing the game. Oh, my dash is so teeny. It's painful. Part of the penalty I took with Chaos there is now my dash hardly moves. Oh. So there's just a lot in this game to take in. A lot of unique styles to play. There was my summon from Artemis. If you blinked, you missed it. It's much more flashy once you get it maxed out, which is the bar under my health. You can either use it in the sections, so you can have 5 little sections, or 4 sections. The 5th, filling all 5 of them, gives you 1 big summon, which does a huge bonus. So we have Athena, Artemis, or the Karen shop. I will probably take Artemis. I would really like more crits and damage. Sometimes the effects of a... Ooh, got a mini boss. Sometimes the effects of a god are not that great, but the damage upgrades could be good in terms of... Like, deflect on your basic attack, probably not the best. Oh, I just alt-tabbed somehow. Oops. Alright, there's 1 down. I should have dodged. I did not. Once it comes down, probably use. So Artemis, majority of her stuff is the fact that it can crit, which is double the damage, and that can be the difference between a win and a loss.
Farewell, gigantic Gorgon head. In the name of Hades.
Okay. Oh, yes, indeed. So this is actually pretty amazing. Problem is I don't have much to crit with, and having a higher chance to critical strike with my basics is not half bad. But, oh, that's rough. I'm gonna take the Hunter's Mark. So any critical damage I do marks a random foe. You'll see the icon on them, and then pretty much I get a 50% critical chance against that person, and you can snowball and damage with that. I do have a 15% crit as long as I use my special first, and I would rather maybe get like a probably like a Dionysus on my attack, because once you've seen a god in your run, they're likely to show up again. I haven't seen every god in a single run before, but usually gods will keep showing up when you've seen one of them. even though my attacks may not be able to deflect, your basics and special can still destroy projectiles. So that's something interesting to keep in mind. Backstab damage is also a thing. There's a whole lot this game has to offer in terms of... in-depth mechanics. Okay, so Hermes is a unique god that does not have boons that give you attack, dash, or anything. Instead, he's more of a utility guy. Gives you faster attacks, faster movement speed, a few good passive bonuses. So one of the things is I can get a third dash, or I can get 20% movement speed, which a lot of people probably say go for the dash, but I'm actually a huge fan of just having great movement speed. I like trials, so this is pretty much 2 gods in 1. Fantastic.
On to the next
I
one.
will always take this. Okay, so if I had to choose, I would probably put... Oh, I would rather Artemis on both my attack and my special. But I guess if I'm doing... I could do deflect on my special because it'd be a wide blast. Or we go for pressure points. So pressure points is just all my attacks have a 2% chance to crit.
No one in our family can avoid taking sides forever, Zagreus. But you can take the more sensible side at least.
So when you pick out one god over the other one gets mad, and you have to clear a room with the god helping the enemies. Athena's benefit is she makes enemies invincible temporarily. So just gotta watch out for it. So that's the little notification. She's gonna make them immune. Be diligent and probably not let them sit in that bubble. Every god has their own way of helping in terms of like shooting projectiles at you after you finish.
Chaos boon evolved a new effect.
Perfect. And then they forgive you afterwards. But they can damage you and kill you. They got all sorts of stuff.
See, I have my father's temper, Zagreus. I'm able to keep it in check, though I expect you to do your part.
And then you get the other one. So it's like, yay! Ooh, so here's one of the ways to replenish a Death Defy. It'll be one of Athena's, and then she also gives you an extra effect for Death Defy for that, for all of them actually. So I'm gonna take the special effects on Deflex, so now my special Deflex deals more damage. And so we're gonna go shop or maximum health. Personally, I like to be at about 200 health before I hit the final boss. Well, I shouldn't say final boss. I haven't even gotten to the real final boss. This game has a lot of replayability and a lot for you to explore throughout. So, here comes the second boss. Second boss, the difference on his extreme measure, which we have, is that his arena surrounds him instead of him sitting on one end. And, essentially, it's hard to get away from him. Alright, and what I mean by that is when you hit, he has these phases where he summons his other heads, and his main head is immune, so normally you can take on the other heads in a safe location, but because the arena surrounds him, he can access you at all times, so you just kind of have to watch yourself. Once you destroy all the heads, then he will slowly become not invulnerable, and then you proceed to chunk him some more. Okay, so now he's invincible again, summons more heads.
Flying bastard.
And each head, the color of the head is actually kind of important. It tells you what kind of projectile they have from the waved attacks to the not so easy to dodge tracking projectiles. First death defy. That's fine. That's fine. You know what? Sloppy gameplay, that'll do me good. Okay, so I've got my Greater Call, but I'm gonna save it for the final bit here. And it summons a whole bunch of arrows, each can crit, and just obliterates them. That's why I love Artemis. So she shoots out an arrow that does a certain amount of damage. And then each arrow can crit. And I think it's about 10 arrows at about 150 damage with the rarity I have. So if that doubles, that's extremely high damage. And plus we get a 6% bonus. I don't need anything from the shop unless they're selling me a death defy. No. I'll hold on to my money. So we're going to Elysium. This is the third area. Very fun. But in terms of my heat, the extreme measures are no longer a problem because we only went up to 2. So the next 2 bosses will just have their normal fun stuff. Yeah. Okay, Dionysus or money. Dionysus. I hate taking coins over boons, but when we play on Twitch, I let chat tell me what to take. They never pick the boons. Yeah, these little bastards. Just gotta deflect. So there's the green mark, the hunting aspect. Gotta deflect those back. These are really terrible at trying to deal with without deflect, so a very annoying projectile for sure, because they break into multiple.
In the name of Hades.
So this is kind of what I was gonna go for, but positive outlook is great either way, but having a hangover effect on my basic is great. I will not be taking Chaos this time. Oh, but there's the hammer. Ooh. Ooh. It's tough decisions. Tough decisions. Gonna take the hammer. There's a lot of really good upgrades for weapons. Some not so great, but a lot of really good upgrades. So now I can get them drunk over my lovely swordy hump. These enemies are also annoying. The spirit that pops out of their bodies essentially tries to go to these ghostly weapons that are hanging around, and they revive if they can regenerate and touch a weapon and spin in a circle, all dramatic like. So you have to essentially kill them twice, else suffer that you're gonna face them again. Not so bad when they don't have shields, but when they have shields, it gets worse. Gotta just let the poison do its work. So you could stack the Dionysus Hangover 5 times. There's ways to make it do insanely more, and that's what I was going for. Yes. So Curse Slash is kind of really broken. Don't know how they didn't think this was super broke, but now all of my basic attacks heal me for 2 health at the consequence of my maximum life being reduced by 60%. But trying to tell me that having lifesteal, 2 health per swing, isn't gonna just carry the day? Well, chariots. I'll show you. I feel like I'm gonna be basically unkillable now. That's what it feels like. And if I die, you know, shame on me. Like, legit. If you get Cursed Sword, it's over. Or at least it should be. There's not a lot of things in this game that will deal that much damage to you without being in a high heat. Is he just driving into... Listen, Mr. Chariot, I'm not gonna have this right now with you. It's time.
Good enough to eat.
Okay, so, this is really good because it's every... So pretty much every second that they're hungover, they're going to be taking 12 damage now instead of just 8. And then plus it's stackable up to 5, so it'd be 40 damage per second after I get them up to 5. Or I could just do the 40 per flood shot. No, we're definitely doing Drunken Strike. Drunken Strike's pretty good. But of course, there's another caveat, is the fact that because Drunken Strike only goes up to 5 stacks without any additional boons, you know, it's not the best for super fast weapons. There are weapons that hit very frequently. It's not terrible, but I would definitely say there are certain boons that are even better for the very fast weapons, and it's all about just getting your setup the way you want it to be with what you're given. So shield guys can only be damaged from the back. Kind of annoying, but it's alright. So other things to keep in mind, which is very unique, every weapon has a dash attack, or dash strike. It's actually considered also your regular attack, but specifically can be upgraded. So anything that upgrades my attack also upgrades my dash attack, and then anything that specifically only dash attack will only be for dash attack. So it's weird how you can get all these benefits and actually focus on a dash attack only build. It gets really crazy and hard to explain without being there for all of it. Ooh. I am actually good with no dodge chance. We'll take a specialist faster. Essentially, he recovers and attacks a little faster. It'll let me do a bit more with my special, so it's not so slow. Oh god, there's Poseidon. Oh, but there's Artemis. God, Poseidon can be such a good DPS setup, but I think I'm more Artemis now anyway, so we're just gonna stick with Artemis. Poseidon is my favorite god, though.
Come forth and be swatted, deadly butterflies.
Yeah, this will be easy. So I usually like to dash to cancel any animations and just keep a constant flow of attacks. Oh, no you don't. That 10 damage is negligible. I think that's how you say it. Sir, excuse you. I also like that the damage is color-coded based on the type of damage you're dealing.
You found me, Artemis.
From which god, so...
In the name of Hades.
It's pretty cool. Not a huge fan of Hidebreaker. Exit Wounds has a lot of good setup, but I'm just gonna do critical effects deal even more damage, so instead of dealing double, it's 222%. Very nice, very lovely. Can be upgraded, can do a lot more. You know what? Let's waste this one. I like this side. And also, I gotta give this guy... You can give these guys nectar, and when you've got the nectar, because you don't always see these guys, it's kind of good to give them the nectar.
Oh. Here in Elysium, you have to win this stuff, so I have rarely had occasion to enjoy it.
I'd say you earned it more than anybody else I've seen around here lately, though I don't make the rules. This spear point that you gave me, sir, it's been quite useful, though I have to ask you, is there any particular significance to it? Most spear points aren't imbued with power such as this.
Keep in mind, one thing about this is that when you do gift everyone something the very first time, they give you a trinket. I happen to be using his trinket. So, catch you up on that.
Just something I'd been meaning to get rid of, but it can be difficult, discarding trifles from the past. Knowing it's provided you some benefit is welcome news.
Okay, so his one of 3 rewards. I'm going for restoring my Death Defy. He restores all of it. He's insanely good. I got pressure points already. Clean kill. I don't know if there's much more I can get from Artemis that I would want, but we can try. I think I'm as good
Long spears
as I want to be honest. Easy. Also, I have an effect that every room we clear, I get health. Total of 3. It's not much, but I mean, like, you just gotta take into consideration all the crazy things I get. I'm practically invincible. It's over. We got this. the blue gem guys make enemies around them invincible. Kill him. So that enemy pretty much just ate up all of the arrows, which is good. Kind of what I wanted. Kill him dead.
I accept this message.
Oh. Oh. Oh, that's hard. That's hard. The thing is, I kind of want Poseidon's, because if later down the line we do get Poseidon again, he does have. I can add Rupture into that cast shot, and that would actually be really good. I'm not really using the cast to deal damage, more or less to do some range pressure. A Trove, okay. So I can get up to 75 gems, which I'll go for. That counts down. You lose one every second. Kill all the enemies as fast as you can. I just want to heal a little bit, so I'm not gonna use any additional abilities. Took me a little longer. But we get the gems, we get the nectar, and then we're gonna go get more nectar so that I can progress my story, because there's a lot of story. And there's a fountain.
This too.
Oh, also, when I pick up a nectar from a room, I get a free palm, part of my passives. So if you're wondering why I got an upgrade, there you go. Strong drink, amazingly strong. I've got 800. We can save that for the final Shabbat. Ooh, but palm. But there could be a palm here. Man, that's tough. I guess I wouldn't have to fight, so Karen's not that bad. And it is Artemis. Can't go wrong with Artemis. Oh. Ooh. So I kind of like where my dash strike's gonna deal 70% more damage, and is gonna be a little more rare, which is nice. Also, another thing to keep in mind: if you did level up the previous upgrade, you know, whatever boon you had that's gonna be replaced, all the levels do transfer. I think I will take dash level. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll take the dislodged, because the dash with projectile is still pretty good. Yeah, I'll take a little more DPS. Take a little more max life. Hearts normally give 25, but again, because I have the cursed sword, which drops my maximum HP, is what it is.
These two.
Ready yourself, Asterius, my friend, for our most hated enemy has come to challenge us again before this loving crowd.
I don't understand this place at all. How is it you're still champion after all this time? After losing repeatedly and often, I mean.
Yeah, because I played this quite a bit.
What would you know of it? There's more, much more to being a champion than empty victories. It is a way of thought, a bearing, a certain dignity which you shall never have.
So this fight's a 2-on-1 versus the Minotaur, and you know,
you try evading this.
Theseus. So there's a couple of ways you can handle this. I find it easier to take out the bull first, but you know, you do you. You can also deflect his spear back at him, free damage. Should be easy. The problem with fighting Minotaur first is Minotaur is extremely tanky. He has way more health than Theseus, so make sure that you... Will you go away? Come on! There we go. So, yeah, when you're taking on these two, Minotaur, you're going to be in for quite a bit of a fight for a little while.
All right, taking the shot.
Please, Lady Artemis.
I normally like to save up my... I normally like to save up my Greater Call to fight his Greater Call, because Theseus is also blessed by the gods, which you will see very shortly. And he has a shield, so he's protected from the front. You have to backstab him. There's a few iframes on your dash, but I find it unreliable in a lot of situations. So now he's calling.
Gods on high, attend me.
Kind of free damage here, which is why I like to save my Greater for him here. And then, of course, the gods constantly help him. Greater Call, and it's over. I love the Artemis Call the most. It is just...
I'll just help myself.
You get a little red shade.
Thank you for your support, my shade.
He's your emotional support. Say hi to him by walking up to him. Okay, we are doing great. We've actually got quite a bit of money, and there's nothing I need to... There's no death defies I need to rebuy. There's no trinkets that I would want from the shop, but I mean, if you're a newer player, check the shop out often, see the things you would want to buy. There's so much to what this game offers, other than just the gameplay you're seeing in front of you. If you haven't picked this game up yet, you really should. It is fun. I mean, like, games in general are fun, but this one is most fun with great mythologies that are quite accurate to what they are.
That's quite a stash there, Charon.
So this is the final shop. Essentially here, instead of having just a final boss, Cerberus blocks the path out. You have to go through, you have to pick which tunnel you want to go through to see if you can get him food that he would eat and let you go through. You just pretty much pay him off. We're gonna go with the Poseidon boon. Ooh. No rupture though. The slamming into barriers is all right, but we're getting to the point where we need to worry about the final battle coming up, and he doesn't get slammed around. So that kind of sucks. So we're gonna take the duo, which is Artemis and Poseidon. I have the requirements, so it showed up, and it pretty much gives me a second cash out, just essentially 30% more damage. I would probably prefer the rupture. You know, I'll take it for now.
Let's go, team.
Yeah. Ooh. I haven't gotten this one before. So you'll see this little icon in the future if you're not just starting the game. These are prophecies. Essentially, you get one pretty much for getting every single thing in the game. You get rewards for completing prophecies, so all I gotta do is pick this up. The prophecies I don't believe reset per run. It's just like, while playing the game, get all of Athena's things and stuff like that. We are going to go with the heart first, because if we get that fountain later down the line, I would like to have, if I have missing health, I'd like to get more. Okay. Chill out, you. So being we're close to the surface, the enemies down here are simply satyrs and rats. And poison is the new mechanic. There are these little herbal pools around. If you get poisoned, you go to them to cure poison. Poison deals a lot of damage really fast, so make sure you don't get hit by it. Hangover getting work done. These areas all count as encounters as well, so if you get bonuses for going through so many encounters here, pretty good. Like if you had a chaos thing that required you to go X amount of encounters, each one of these rooms counts it as an encounter, so it clears you up pretty quick. There are certain things that don't count.
Gigantic vermin I've ever seen.
All right, so I got a special fight. I don't like this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and stay away from the toxic pools. And probably try to kill these guys. Whew, that would have killed me. Pretty much the switches called down the guillotines and... Can we stop spawning those things, huh? Oh, don't do that to me. And like I said, enemies are affected by traps too, so that's nice. All right, we've got about 100 life. That should keep me in the good graces of the boss, because the boss can hit kind of hard.
Something for Cerberus.
And this will push me over 100. There we go.
What I need.
Good solid 100. Okay, so next I would like the rupture if we can get it, because that will help me deal very high amounts of damage. If I can get it. I have a prophecy coin, so... There's so many unique things about casts that, I mean, getting treasure is not bad. There's so many unique things about casts that you can do so many builds with. There's a sword that will force casts out of an enemy, and you can stack a lot of casts in one enemy. And you've seen that we picked up a, when a cast leaves an enemy's body, it deals 120 damage, so you could stack like 8 casts in their body, and the sword is Poseidon's sword, and it when you use your special on them, it forces all the casts out. So if you have 8 in there, you force all 8 out, it does 120 each, and it's really good. And it's just unique things like that. You can't really, unless you've played this enough, you can't really anticipate you're gonna get something so interesting. Alright, so we got poisoned. Where is it? There we go. Satyrs poison you with poison starts, so you can deflect it back to them as well. Just to keep it safe. So remember, enemies that are armored do not flinch from basics, so kinda have to play it smart. Damn, this room is full of enemies. This build has some really good control. I love it. You know what? Go get him, Artemis. Bit overkill.
On my authority.
But hey. So not what I'm looking for. Let's do a reroll.
Any other blessings, maybe?
There it is, rupture. Or take 10% less from bosses. That's not bad. It would have been nice earlier, but that's not bad. We're gonna take the rupture. 10 damage every 0.2 seconds while moving. And that is applied whenever I shoot my cast out. So that little attack now has a massive dot on it, which is very nice. It's kind of what I was going for. I don't see that one too much. Okay, so we haven't found the bag yet, so we have to make our choices. I'm gonna go Athena, because you know, having more boons is great. You can actually do all of the rooms if you wanted to. You just risk the damage, but of course we have the survivability of the cursed sword. We have insanely good setup. Even if I take damage at this point, it's like, it doesn't matter. The only thing that's gonna kill us outright are the traps. They'll one-shot us because they deal about, with the penalty I have on, they deal about 200, 300 damage. Depending, I think the guillotines are like 500 or 250, I forget. I just know it's high enough to typically one-shot me.
I'm empty.
Dead. Dead. Next.
No way.
Alright, so there's the satyr bag to feed
Special treat for Cerberus.
Some members of our family do not yet fully understand just how precarious your situation is, cousin. My Lord Dionysus here He goes about as though this is a festive matter of some sort.
Come on, Athena, girl, you really mean to tell me that discovering a long-lost relative isn't a cause for celebrating right away? I mean, you can't be telling me a thing like that, because if Zag isn't a cause for feasting, I don't know what is.
Usually when you get a talk like that, that'd be you're getting a boon, a duo boon specifically. Foe projectile speed. Oh, by half? Dude, that actually is insanely good. That will help. Yes, please.
Combined power.
Plus the fountain with my plus 6% damage. Now, I'm told the damage applies to all of my damage, but I've only ever noticed that it upgrades maybe the attack damage, and that's it. Get a palm. Or we could see if we can get Hermes. So if I give the bag to Cerberus, we can't go any further. I would... You know, we can get at least 2 palms.
This one, I guess.
Might as well. Just a bit of overkill. The risk. Also, when you clear out a room completely, you don't really need to worry too much about traps anymore. They usually close up. The only thing you have to worry about is lava, as that is not a thing that ever stops being dangerous. But poison, everything that's afflicting you pretty much goes away when you get to that point. Only for 6 encounters. If I can get a shop, one of those in the run for the coin, we'd actually be pretty good. Because it'll last for the final boss, and we could essentially have benefit. Those are like temporary boons. They only work for the allotted amounts of encounters, so pretty much the opposite of chaos. Grab me some money. It's kind of nice you can even deflect the large bombs that are thrown your way. Now, the water rupture damage is only if they move, so against ranged enemies, not that great, but like, boss moves a lot. Ooh. I know it's gonna, ooh, oh man, that palm is good for everything. Almost doubles the damage of the Razor Shoals. You know what? I will get the Razor Shoals. It's all really good. I mean, even for the boss, though, I could probably get a double upgrade on Artemis Call if I'm lucky.
Come in useful.
I'm not lucky. Oof. 77% critical chance. You know what? I'll take it. Probably not the best upgrades to get, but I'm gonna go with it. All right, so we can pray for a shop midway. We can get the money. Hopefully, we get enough money.
Come on, then.
So far, not too bad. We are in a really good spot.
Who else?
We got really good crit chance. We've got good damage. All sorts of different types of damage, too. So, from damage over time to burst damage. It's a good set of control. I think overall we're going to be pretty set for final boss. Plus lifesteal, insane sustainability. Easy. No shop yet. Hope there's a shop in here. This is the last room. These lasers so annoying. Now, each weapon, I didn't really go over everything, but each weapon has a very unique style of play. and not only in how they attack, but their combination with boons is just drastically different. So if you don't find the sword to be very fun for you, there will be other weapons that play completely differently, or the different aspects actually might change a weapon up entirely, which is really good. Okay, so we didn't get lucky. No shop. Sad times. Did I get 500? I did. We can get the mercury. So diamond you can normally get by increasing heat or buy them at the end of a run, which I'd rather just make sure my runs are successful.
Thanks to my work experience with my professional associate down there. You tell him I said hi, all right?
Ooh. Being I got lifesteal, the faster I can...
The haste of Hermes.
The faster I can strike, the better. Okay.
Each violent countenance of Cerberus agrees the satyr sack must be destroyed.
And by destroyed, it means devoured. He likes it.
Thank you, boy.
Okay.
I made it.
Boss time! So this is the last boss of a normal run. Sorry about this. This shouldn't even be there. Darn, I'm gonna have to replace my light bulbs. I pray that hasn't been there.
I'm
there
back, Father.
It goes away. It does not. Why is it not going away? Go
I
away.
trust you have retained enough of your strength through this ordeal to make this worth our while.
Oh my gosh, guys, it's Hades. It's, you know.
Show yourself, Father.
Oh, you jerk. Easy boss fight, not really. For a lot of people, he could be pretty hard. Lots of stuff to watch on him. From large swings like that, that is painful.
Of the underworld.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's not a good setup. I do not like that. These little fireballs, thank goodness we got the 50% projectile speed, because they are very damaging. And they leave behind a skull that explode, and you need to destroy them or suffer the consequences. I could deflect them back at him. My health's almost back where it needs to be. As soon as I catch him, got him.
Oh, hi, remember me?
And good chunk of his life's gone. Oh, I do like it. Now, unfortunately, these enemies he summons all have goddamn shields, and he summoned 2 of the fireballs, so now we gotta take these out. We got 5 seconds. That one's got 2-1. Got it. Oh, I ran into it like an idiot. And there's 2 over here. So boiling blood makes you take more damage. And that's when you get hit by the little projectile he's got. And that's the big explosion I just ran into. We're still alive somehow. I'm gonna hold on to my greater call, even though it will finish him instantly. Because there's a second phase.
Finished.
We are not finished.
ARTEMIS!
Nowhere to hide from me.
Oof, good damage. Not the best damage. I could have gotten more, but, you know, you gotta live with what you have. Alright, those count as traps, and they pretty much insta-give you 150 damage. I just alt-tabbed again. I am special. Not in the middle of a Hades fight, please.
Nowhere to hide from me.
Easy. 4 heat, not bad.
You owe this victory to all your relatives.
I thought normally I had my mouse locked in this game. I can't believe I don't.
See you at home.
Alright, Ladies and gentlemen, that's our run. If you like what you saw, hey, I might do some more along the way. I've been playing this quite a bit on stream. We play with some rules and play with you know, chat telling me what to go with and messing with my day. This is pretty much the total screen. I have a streak of 6 right now. I've won a total of 20 times. I've had like over 40 runs, but chat does me in pretty often. You can see all your boons, all the stuff. I never even got to use my summon. These are the abilities I went for. Up here's the heat rules I went with. So level 2 extreme measures. I did the heightened security. These are just boons you can check and you can click and which ones are pinned, which ones are not pinned. But with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a long journey for me and hopefully not too bad for you. These runs usually take you anywhere from about 20 minutes to an hour, depending on if you do every room, all the sorts of things, how fast you can defeat bosses, and how high your heat level is, and all that such. Well, that out of the way, thank you all for watching. I'll be back with more. I've got a big project I've been working on all November. I'm going to have it out soon. Hopefully no later than Friday. I wanted it out by Monday, but I thought this would be a good in-between until I get it completed. So thank you all once again, and as always, good game. Also, if you want to see the ending here, spoiler alert, go ahead, skip to the next thing. You get your rewards, and you go in here.
After defeating his Lord Father yet again, Prince Zagreus begins to shiver and catch cold. And, as is well known, there sadly is no cure for such a thing.
Essentially, he dies every time he gets out, so he's sent back to the bottom, which moves the story along and gives reason to why you're running this game multiple times. And it's all about discovering why and what and who and all this stuff. So there you go. With that out of the way, thank you guys. Have a good one.